So while I was picking a handful of nettle tops, I went to have a look at a local stone, which is a prehistoric stone. That's how it's described on the local history websites. Nobody really knows whether it was originally standing up or whether it was always laid down. And we also know that it has been moved a few feet from where it originally was, possibly when the little park it's in was laid out, so it didn't get in the way. But it's more or less where it always was, up on a ridge looking down over the city of Bristol. What became the city of Bristol, because clearly when this stone was put in place by somebody, the city didn't exist. There might have been a settlement down in the valley, but not the city as we know it today, clearly. So who knows what it was? It could have been a sighting stone. You know, it could have been a stone where people lit a beacon, or when they were expecting visitors, or, you know, to warn enemies that, you know, this was their settlement up on the ridge and don't try and come near us. So when you stand at this stone, you look out across Bristol, out to Somerset and the Mendip Hills. It's quite a long sight from this stone. And turning around the other way, there's a pretty little church. In fact, this photograph I took of the church, I'm standing very close to where the stone is. So what was this stone? Well, we have a prejudice these days that if a stone is lying down flat, we tend to call it an altar. But that's because we've been brought up in a Judeo-Christian tradition which has flat stones as altars. Or we are prejudiced to think that our long ago ancestors were inevitably bloodthirsty savages who sacrificed people on altars. But as I said, it might just have been a sighting stone. It might just have been a marker to say, you know, this is the boundary of our land, or this is the meeting point. So it could have been any of those things. What I liked when I had a look at it on this day late in January, I don't know if you can see, there's a load of little bits along on the top of it, and those are actually cracked nuts. They are the casings of nuts. Now, they haven't been here forever. It's been raining very heavily, so anything on that stone would have been washed off. They haven't been put there by human beings. That is most likely local squirrels, or even maybe the seagulls or crows have dragged the discarded nuts from the squirrels onto this stone and used it to crack them open. Because if a stone has been there for thousands of years, obviously the local wildlife would get to know it and use it for their own purposes, wouldn't they?